Vic, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to Brian and to everybody else.
On the injury front, who's been ruled out and who is questionable?
Um, KJ Hamler's out, and the rest of them are questionable.
So that would be Chubb, Marshall.
Correct.
Anybody else? Okay.
Bellamy, Chicolo, and Glasgow, just because, his shoulder, he reported some shoulder soreness after practice yesterday.
Okay, gotcha. A couple more from me for you about some of your guys on IR. What kind of reports have you received from the training staff about how Cortland is done in his rehab?
Cortland's doing good. I've talked to him a few times here recently. He came up to see me one day. He, where he should be at in this phase of his recovery, he's doing very, very well, and his attitude is great. He's attacking it.
And then with Vaughn and Bryce, will they continue rehabbing at the facility, or has that run its course for them?
I'm not sure on that. I do think there'll be some rehab going on here. Sometimes some of these injuries don't take extensive rehab. They take just time. And I think both of those kind of fall in that category a little bit, but they will be kept, we will keep abreast of them and their rehab and what they need to do.
And then no surgery for Callahan?
No.
Okay, thanks.
Go ahead, Nick.
Hi, Vic. Since week 11 against the Dolphins, you guys are sixth in the NFL in rushing yards per game. And during that same time, only two teams have given up fewer sacks than you guys. I know those are both 11-man operations, but in particular, how much do you view those as markers of improved offensive line play, and how do you just sort of gauge the progress that unit has made this year?
Yeah, I think the unit's come along well. It's a young unit. We got a rookie center, second-year left guard. Garrett, I think, is still a young player. We've had Graham in and out of there in that time frame that you're talking about. And we've had Elijah or Calvin playing some of those games too, along with Dot. And I think the O-line's had a good season in that regard. I think we've been able to improve our run blocking and pass blocking. And I think it's a good credit to those guys and the work and the commitment they've had to it. And it's a good credit to Mike and Coop in their leadership in coaching the O-line.
Thanks, Marty.
Hey, Vic, I got a couple for you. First off, I see you put Shelby Harris on the IR. Any word yet? Does he need surgery? And just what do you think of the season he had for you, although he missed the 5 games?
He didn't I don't believe he needs surgery right now, but it's an ongoing evaluation process. Okay. I thought Shelby, until he, started missing the games with the COVID, was having his best season of his career. And I think he would tell you the same. I think he was in great shape, kept his weight down consistently all year, and it made a major difference for him in his play. I think up to the point where he started missing games, he played very, very well.
Did you think he played well post? I mean, he was pretty productive even with limited snaps after he came back from the COVID.
Yeah, he won. He played good, but he wasn't the same. And I still think he had some effects, physically from the COVID that a lot of guys do, that some of the guys do experience when they come back.
And then secondly, is draft positioning anything that crosses your mind until the season's over? Like, does it matter to you if you're top 10 or in the teens, or do you even consider that until the season's over?
Yeah, I have no idea where we may fall in regards to the draft at this point.
Thanks.
Next one, Mike.
Yeah, Coach, just following up on Shelby, how did it happen? Because it seemed like you finished the game, took the flight, baby, and then, was it a delayed reaction injury?
I think it was something that could have been bothering him, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I would say it would fall into the delay reaction. Yeah.
Okay. That's it.
Go ahead, George.
Coach, thanks for the time. No one knows linebackers better than you, Coach. You've developed a close relationship with Von Miller. Do you play any role at all in trying to get him back, or do you want to see it run it back to where he's back with you guys next year?
Well, I'm sure when, I'll be asked that, and I like Von. I think one of the most disappointing things of this season was when he went down, because I really, really thought he was going to have a really good season for us and for himself. And he put a lot of time and effort into the offseason. He had a great vision and focus. And, and I think if he does the same thing this offseason that he did last offseason, that he can get back to that same point.
Next one, Jeff.
Vic, kind of the last Friday of the year, and Happy New Year. But I'm just kind of curious, what did you miss most about a normal season?
The day-to-day interaction with the players and the staff, for that matter. I mean, even when we meet as a staff in here now, it's all everybody's in their office and on the Zoom. But unquestionably, the day-to-day interaction with the players, not meeting with them physically and having those teaching moments in person.
Was that a tough adjustment for you? Just on a human level? On a human level?
Yeah, I mean, tough adjustment. I mean, you're used to doing something a certain way for so many years, and then when it's taken away from you, it is an adjustment. But even I think we adjusted good, and I adjusted good, but it still doesn't replace the in-person, on-hands contact with the players on a full-time basis throughout the day, and I miss that.
Time for a few more. Next one, Andrew.
Vic, kind of a follow-up to that, not meeting with the staff during the season, I can imagine that's tough. What is the early part of the offseason going to look like for you? Are you coaches, are you guys going to come into the facility? Are you going to work remotely and keep up the Zoom stuff?
Yeah, we'll work a few days next week, and then they're going to close down the building. So anything we do after that point will be remotely and through the Zoom and all that.
Next one, Brandon.
Coach, with the activation of Jake Butt, was that one just because of how hard he worked? And I guess what's an expectation for him Sunday in terms of getting on the field and actually having a chance to make some plays?
No, it wasn't a reward or sentimental type thing. It came to the deadline where we had to either activate him or keep him on the IR. And plus, there is a chance in a scenario where Jake may play on Sunday.
Final one, Jackson.
Hey, Coach, now that KJ Hamler's season is over, where did you see him take the biggest step this year?
Well, I just think he, once he got back off of his 2 injuries that, kind of robbed him of most of training camp in the early part of the season, I really think he showed what he can do and what he's capable of doing and was getting more and more confident. He just needs a good stretch of work, practice, and games to fully realize his potential and for us to fully, get him in there and utilize him the right way.